Let's just jump straight in. So first thing you're probably wondering is, where's the Valentine skins? Well, if you saw this video that I uploaded about a week ago, we did bring up the suggestion of, because Lunar New Year and Valentine's happen to appear within the same week, there's a very good chance that we will see the Valentine skins being added over the course of this weekend. It might happen Saturday, it might happen Monday, but that is what is expected. So don't be surprised if that happens, so keep that in mind. We'll very likely get some more pink themed skins soon. Don't worry. So they will appear eventually. Right, next thing. With this lovely batch of Lunar New Year skins, which, looks very nice and very cool, you're probably wondering, what happened with this garage door? So, for 15 minutes, this garage door was in the Rust door. However, it had a bit of a DMCA issue. What's wrong? Well, basically, if we were to quickly go over to the likes of my Twitter, if you want to see it for yourself, look in the description of this video, and you'll see the links to all my socials. It was brought to attention that it appears to be traced, as you can see with the likes of that. So it was brought to the attention of the devs earlier, and they made a statement that it's our belief that the art used on the skin is not original and is used without permission of the IP holder and correct licensing. So in short, it had a copyright issue. Facepunch didn't want to deal with that. They removed it from the Rust store. You might think, oh, is that rare then? Not really. It's not even the rarest skin. But we'll talk more about that over the course of the week, and there will be a special video talking about that should appear on Saturday, so be prepared for that. Cool, so now that we've got all of that addressed, good day, Ruskin enjoyers. I hope you're doing alright, because it's time for the predictions video. Yes, with this lovely Lunar New Year batch of skins, we're going to go ahead and try and figure out which of these skins might potentially be a nice investment this week, which of these skins might give us some of those sweet, delicious looking profits. So, please be aware of this, holiday themed skins, they don't really tend to be quite right as an investment, because when it's out of season, aka in regards to Lunar New Year, every other day of the year, they kind of don't really hold up very well, which is unfortunate. But sometimes we do get some skins that, stand out very nicely and will probably end up, doing very well, and that's what we're going to try and figure out. But based on what I've seen in the past with Lunar New Year skins, they don't really hold up well, which is very unfortunate. But we have some very awesome designs. I'm going to try my best to point out what looks good, especially in terms of investments. And then, of course, it's up to you what you do, from there. Sounds good? Let's move on. So first up, Loong double door. If you were around when I was talking about the likes of this airlock double door, I did point out, based on the fact that I'm always looking on the Rust Workshop and I'm always doing my Rust Workshop skin checks, that I was well aware that there was some very, very, very interesting doors being submitted. So this is the most recent batch of skins, loads of Valentine skins, but more specifically, if we go see TTG's top picks list, if I just scroll down to around the middle, you'll see that we had a lot of very interesting candidates. So out of these two Lunar New Year double doors, Loong sheet metal was accepted, fair enough, and you know what, I'm not complaining because it's still a very good looking double door skin. So this came out, and unfortunately, in a sense, it just took away all the attention that the airlock double door had. Alright, so whilst this is perfectly fine, for this and whatnot, and it looks very nice, the glow in the dark is very, very impressive. Unfortunately, I'm also worried. So this appeared very early in the year, because normally we hardly ever see any sheet metal double doors. So let me just quickly verify this again. We get quite a lot of Twitch drops, but we don't really get that many accepted in the Rust doors anymore. It used to be a fairly frequent thing in the past, but now, not so much. You normally get just as many Twitch drops or even more. The occasional charity skin as well. But due to that, we tend to see all the sheet metal double doors in the positive. Now, with this appearing today, this and this has started to go down in price, which is unfortunate. But if we keep seeing more and more and more being made and accepted, well, there's going to be far too many to pick from. And, well, you will start seeing more and more of these end up getting cheaper, which isn't good. So now you can understand the situation where I'm a little bit unsure. So please understand this. As I said, I'm always looking on the workshop. I'm always keeping an eye out, and I'm seeing more and more and more skin creators producing more and more sheet metal double doors. I'm pretty sure word has got around to them that that's what people wanted to see. More specifically, the investors, because what appeared to be a reliable investment is now starting to be a fair bit questionable. So if we do keep seeing more and more and more being submitted, there's a much better chance we'll see more being accepted, and unfortunately, that leads to them overall, as I've already said, start to lose their uniqueness, I guess you could say, and, well, if there's more available, there's not so much money to go around, and the values do go down. So that is very unfortunate. Anyway, talking more specifically about that double sheet metal door, it's good. Very impressive piece of work. So with what we have here, I can't help but a lot of people will be appreciating this as time goes on. I'm pretty sure that has a very good chance in retaining its value and doing a whole lot better, as in going up in price as time goes on. But this is where it is currently at, okay? So there's a lot of attention there. A lot of people appreciate it. But you know what? We could have said the exact same thing last week with the airlock double door. Do you understand the situation? Now, in regards to that skin right there, I still think it'll work out quite all right. It's still got some very good bar support and whatnot. As time goes on, maybe these are the only 2 sheet metal doors that we get accepted in Rust in all of this year. However, it's literally only the beginning of this year. It's only pretty much the beginning of February still. There's so much more for 2024. Right. Anyway, so looking at the state of this, I should also point out this Rust store is only several hours old and it's already got over 8,000 purchases, 8,400 subscribers. That is doing very well. But based on total sales, you kind of have to worry. Maybe there's far too many people buying these in excess with the pure intent to sell. So other people are buying this with, the pure intention to try and flip it for a profit. That's a problem. So the smartest thing, as I always say every single week, is to go ahead, wait until Wednesday, we'll do our abnormal barters first, and then we'll approach it and consider, right, is the support there? Will the price stay up? $2.49, we'll wait and see. And of course, if the support is there, we'll consider wanting to buy it. But the amount of sales is looking to be like it's probably going to comfortably do about 30,000. I wouldn't be surprised at the current moment. As time goes on, we'll keep an eye on it. And of course, like I said, if you want to understand the situation in regards to abnormal barters, watch my most recent video. Because, like, even last night, I was very, very cautious in regards to the airlock double door because I couldn't help but assume we would definitely see a sheet metal double door being accepted today. Lo and behold, that's exactly what happened. So patience is very rewarding, and yeah, you get the idea. So that right there, I am optimistic for it. I can see it working out very well. Lovely piece of work. But if we do keep seeing more double doors being made and accepted, that's a problem. So we'll weigh our options on Wednesday, and then of course we'll make a decision. Sounds good. And of course, don't forget, over the course of this next weekend, will we see even more sheet metal double doors? Got to wait and see, don't we? All right then. So we'll use time to our advantage. Now here's a problem. With all of these other skins, I'm not actually very confident, I'm afraid. Yeah, I'm not exactly very confident. Now these are special, so I'll separate those. But I will give some credit to the Dragon Fan rug. Okay, I like it, it looks cool, but I'm very, very, very 50-50 on it. Now, it's more like a decoration than a rug. That's the situation, that's the awkwardness. There's a lot of transparency there and whatnot, but transparency on a rug doesn't necessarily mean success. We quite literally, oh, sorry, I clicked the wrong thing, literally have the spiderweb rug. That's very transparent. That's negative 62%. Well, that's not looking good. Plus, we've also been getting quite a lot of Twitch drops recently, so that's also a problem. I can see it doing quite all right, but will it actually do a good job on retaining its value? I don't know. Very 50-50 on it. But out of the other skins, it stands out better. So it's up to you what you do with that, but I can't help but feel like we'll probably see a lot more rug skins being accepted this year. And this is very, very, very Chinese New Year themed, isn't it? Lunar New Year themed. So again, is it always going to look cool? As a decorative piece? Yeah, sure. Especially next to the lanterns. As we just saw in the workshop image there. That looks pretty sweet. That looks nice. So maybe. But to be a lot more safer, we'll leave it until Wednesday. We'll look at it. We'll make considerations. So I wanted to mention that. But in regards to every other skin, the sheet metal door looks nice, but I'm just not confident in it. And that can be said to the AK, the Furnace, the SAR, the Dragon Box, and, well, that's it. That's all the skins made by skin creators, I'm afraid. So, yeah, this looks cool. I can give it respect. Very on theme with the likes of Lunar New Year, though, and whilst the glow-in-the-dark looks very nice, I still just kind of worry about it. I still think there's going to be problems with it. With the amount of sheet metal single doors that we get, sorry, you would understand that with the amount that we get accepted every single year, and the amount that we've already received in 2024, you might notice that they struggle to retain their value, and, well, that's not looking very sweet, is it? Not looking very good. So, it might be very appealing right now, but there's a very good chance it won't be very appealing about 3 months later, and a year later, and 2 years later. It very likely will end up like most of these other sheet metal doors, in the negative and pretty down bad. Now the AK does look pretty cool. It's nice and bejeweled, it's gold, it looks very nice, it's a wonderful piece of work. But there will be another AK being accepted, and that will take the attention away from this, and, well, unfortunately, this will lose a lot of the interest that it has in it. Could it still stand out? Again, it's a full golden AK. Is that what people truly crave? Is that what people truly desire? I don't fully know, to be honest. And we have had golden AKs before, and they have suffered as well. Black Gold AK, for example. So,
Again, you might sit and say, but it's $3.49. Surely it won't really sell that much. I mean, what, 2 weeks ago we had the El Diablo AK-47 sold for $3.49. Looked pretty sweet. Well, now it's down to just over $1. Yeah, that happens. And when you look at all of the other options that we have available, and if you look at all the other AKs that have been accepted in the past, over the past like few years, the vast majority of them are negative. Will that go below its Rustler price? I wouldn't be surprised in the slightest. I'm pretty sure it'll be selling very nicely. There'll be a lot to go around, and unfortunately, there'll be a lot appearing on the Steam market at a price below $3.49. So I will wait until Wednesday to approach that, but I'm not super confident with it. It's unfortunate. It's a very cool skin, but I'm not super confident in it. Moving on, we have the likes of the Golden Dragon Furnace. Cool looking skin, but unfortunately, Furnace skins over the past 2 years have really dropped off down bad. It's not looking good. Cool looking skin. I have to give it that. The bump map, the scales, the gold looks very nice. If you like it, by all means buy it, use it, enjoy it. Support the skin creators. Keep them motivated. Keep wanting to put out very nice skins in the future. However, as an investment, I question it a lot. And all you got to do is just take a look at all the furnaces that came out, over the past 2-3 years, maybe 4. Just look at them all. SCMM to APP is very helpful for the likes of this. How many of them are in the positive from the past 3 years? You got 1. You got 2. You got 3. Yeah, cool, there you go. You got 3 out of I don't know, 50 plus? That sounds appealing, doesn't it? So, unfortunately, I can't help but feel like with it being holiday themed, it being a furnace, it being $2.49, yeah, I don't think that's going to work out very well. And I'm sorry to say it. It's a cool looking skin, but what are you going to do? Right, then you got this Dragon Star. So, looking at the state of this, cool looking idea, very nice and golden. It literally stares at you. However, SAR skins have not been performing well at all very recently. Just take a look at all of them, and you can understand why I'm a bit cautious with the likes of this. How many of them are in the positive over the past 3 years? So, no. Oh, you got 1 there. 2. No. And you got some there. Cool. Okay, so some are doing quite all right. But what's happened recently is we did get those interesting Twitch drops. Hedge SAR, Crowley SAR. They have proven to be pretty, popular for a lot of people. And since they've come out, a lot of the skins recently have suffered pretty badly, so I do get the feeling that that is also going to suffer with them. It's unfortunate, but you can see it for yourself. Dragon Box. This isn't hard to figure out because over the past 4 years, Samota Skin Creator has been making a box for each, animal, zodiac. I mean, they're all the same. There's a bit of a change with different, branding for the animal on the top. Cool, that's nice. But they're very similar and they're not doing well. And I'm pretty sure that's going to follow suit. It's probably not too hard to distinguish. Cool. And then, so that was all the skins. So I went for all of them. That's looking pretty good. 50-50 on that, all the other ones, So, those were the skin creator skins. Let's now talk about these 2 skins down here. So, technically speaking, they're items, but they are skins, because, of course, the first wooden spear skin to be added to the game, and a very cool, very unique-looking dragon launcher. Dragon rocket launcher, to be precise, sorry. So, let's talk about the Chinese New Year spear. With this, I get the feeling this is going to be a mainstay for future Lunar New Years. So basically, this is just keep being brought back. It's going to get brought back. I feel that is always going to keep reappearing. So it might be $4 now, but I can't help but feel like it's going to be brought back over and over. They might make it cheaper next year. Who knows? But will this hold? So a lot of you are probably wondering, so with this now being the first ever wooden spear skin, does this mean that we're going to be getting more wooden spears in the workshop and whatnot? Don't think so. Now, if you can remember, for a Halloween, back in 2022, we got the introduction of the first ever mace skin. Do you remember that? Well, we didn't see any more mace skins after that, did we? So where are we? We're going down here, are we? Yeah, there we are. Baseball bat. Remember that? That's a mace skin. That was made by Face Punch as well. But even then, that still went down in price, didn't it? That's awkward. So you have to kind of question yourself. Do you use wooden spears a lot? Well, yeah, you do. A lot more than maces at the very least. So let's go back up to here. Let's just kind of put this in our heads. That right there is a very good looking skin. And at some point, you're always going to be using a spear. Everyone starts fresh at some point. So I get the feeling it will be getting a lot of usage. It will be appreciated. And I think it will do a fairly decent job in retaining its value. I can still see it going below its rust or price at some point, though. It wouldn't surprise me. Again, it's going to have a lot of tension right now. But there is going to be an expected dip in prices with the likes of Easter time. Things should improve about the summertime, but of course, autumn, fall seasonal dip, that very likely will suffer as well. So, that right there, along with all the other things, are abnormal. So we can, look at this on Wednesday,
kind of try our best to figure out if that's going to be all right. But because it's made by Face Punch themselves, unfortunately, we can't tell how many have been bought. No, we do not know. That's unfortunate, isn't it? So we're just going to have to try our best to figure out how the future of this is going to work out. $4, pretty expensive. Maybe we won't see that many people investing into them with the pure intent to sell. So, like I said earlier, with the likes of this, I kind of get the feeling with that price, maybe we're not going to see that many excess purchases. So we'll discuss that more on Wednesday. I will sit here and say I am optimistic it'll do a good job of retaining its value, but to do a whole lot better and, trying to get a good profit out of it, we'll do our buy orders first, abnormal buy orders. So don't forget, at the very least, we can do our abnormal buy orders, look at the support afterwards, and we've maybe got another 12 hours to look on the Steam market, see all the buy orders that they have, and consider, do I actually want to buy some? So we'll do that. That's the smart approach. Dragon Launcher. Right, so, because this is the year of the Dragon this year, I look at that and I think, that's probably not going to get brought back next year. Now, Dragons, Lunar New Year, they do kind of coincide with each other quite a lot. But I kind of get the feeling that was supposed to be the special item for, the Year of the Dragon this year. Like, we did get the Return of the Dragon Mask. Yeah, Return. That wasn't made this year. That was made back in 2019. So it was brought back this year. So that was actually the first Lunar New Year mask. That came out during the Year of the Pig. But it was the first ever mask. So they probably thought, is doing a pig going to really be a great start? So they made the dragon instead. And then the whole cycle started all over again, and now we're back to the dragon again. So that's cool. But this year they went ahead and made this, and it looks very nice. And I kind of get the feeling from here on out, every special holiday, we're going to have the likes of a special weapon being produced for it. I get the feeling that this might not return next year. There's, it's 50-50, yes or no, we don't know. $5.49. That's pretty pricey. But you might sit there and say, but surely we've got a lot of rocket launchers to choose from. Well, not really, because that actually took me by surprise. We didn't even get a marketable one last year. We got Twitch drops. Yeah, that's cool, but we didn't get marketable ones. And then you realise we don't actually have that many in total, which is also very surprising. So as I scroll back up, and you might notice we have had the occasional Twitch drop and whatnot. So you can see right there, you can see there, yeah, you've got the option you see. That right there is a very cool, very distinct, very unique rocket launcher. It has its own sound effects. It has a special flame when you shoot it. That's cool. I get the feeling this will be appreciated, but will the price always remain? That price seems a little bit too high, and I am questioning it, especially a lot more compared to the likes of that spear. But if it doesn't ever get brought back, well, I'm pretty sure it might have a much better future. But we don't know, because we can't look into the future. We can't look 1 year ahead, can we? No. So I'm optimistic for it. I fully well believe that that's going to be getting a lot of appreciation, because it's probably the absolute best looking skin in the game. But only Face Punch can really add mesh. So skin creators, they can only work on the basic rocket launcher. Face Punch can just turn up and make something like that and, have all the special glitz and glamour with it. Anyway, it's looking good. But we'll look at this Wednesday, abnormal barter first, look at the support, then decide, does this look good to consider jumping onto and, actually buying? We'll question that, won't we? Cool. So sorry if nothing's super definitive, but we don't know all the details in regards to certain things. So it's a bit awkward. There's one more thing that I want to discuss. So you might have noticed I haven't really talked about the Lunar New Year items. That's because, that's not going to hold up very well. That's not going to hold up very well. This has only gone up in price recently because it was brought back. It was actually selling for a price cheaper than it was selling for, but now that's back. The price has gone back up. It's a bit awkward, but don't worry. But the lantern. Now, a lot of you might not realise, but there's actually an update to this. When you own this, you can make the default Chinese lantern, which will give off a nice orange, warm colour lighting. But you can also make white lanterns if you own this. So when you're in game and you're trying to make a lantern, it will also give you the option to make a white lantern, and that just makes nice, bright, normal lighting. So that's been upgraded in a sense. You might not notice that, but you've now been informed. Now, Chinese lanterns, they always return for a price of $2.49. But as you can see here, with every Lunar New Year, they go back down in price. But throughout the remainder of the year, they always trend upwards.
So when this loads up at its own pace, which takes forever, oh, there you go, it doesn't even work. Great. So that's the state of Steam market at the moment. So yeah, get a look at this right now. Selling for $4. Buy orders pushing all the way up to $4. It's selling in the Steam market for $2.49 now. So I wouldn't be surprised if people bought a whole bunch of these with the pure intent to try and sell these buy orders next week. So don't be surprised by that. So yeah, I'm pretty sure this will be going back down to $2.49. Anyway, look at its history. What do you see? You'll see it go up, you'll see it go down, you'll see it go up, you'll see it go down. So when you look at this, right, this is 2022. This was selling for $6 in January 2022. Then Lunar New Year happened, and it sold for $2.49 again, all the way back down in price. But slowly, little by little, bit by bit, it goes up and up and up in price. Very nice, very cool. Oh look, it's just been reintroduced again for Lunar New Year 2023. Go all the way back down. But then it goes up, 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 up. In the summer, this was back to selling for $5.50. And then, of course, autumn fall seasonal dip, goes down a fair bit, goes up a little bit during in the anticipation of post-Christmas. Post-Christmas rolls in. Wasn't exactly super great this year. But regardless, still sold for a much better price than what it sold for in the Rust store. And now we start all over again. Does that sound reliable to you? I hate that word now, I'm sorry. But you can see it tends to do very nicely. Now, you might sit there and say, could I just buy all of this and get it cheaper than $2.49? Yeah, you could. I wouldn't be surprised. But with all the strong buyers that we have here currently, we've got to wait and see if they actually disappear. And yeah, so this is already marketable. You can't really do a buy order on it, but you can still kind of place a buy order maybe around, I don't know, maybe about just over $2, because look at that. That's super well built up right there. So yeah, you could just go ahead and buy some of these. It's up to you if you want to. But it's a long-term thing. You might have to wait until the summer to see some real good profits, but it's up to you with what you do in regards to that information, all right? So I've presented the information to you. It's your decision now. You make it. Chinese lanterns tend to be pretty good in terms of if you want to go buy some and expect to sell it for around the same price or, make a little bit of profit, it tends to do that every single year. Cool. Now, one final thing that I want to bring up to you. It appears we have a discontinued item. So, if I just quickly look over to here, what do we see? All of the Lunar New Year items that we've had over the past several years, but where is the Sky Lantern? Back in 2022, we had the Sky Lantern introduced, and since then, never ever brought back. So it's been 2 times now with a Lunar New Year, and we have not seen the Sky Lantern. And I'm under the impression now that it's a discontinued item. So what's so special about that? Well, technically speaking, you might sit there and say, oh, it might be rare. Yeah, well, we can't really verify that. We don't know how many actually exist. But what I can confirm is we've had instances in the past where we've had discontinued holiday items that rose up in price very nicely. For example, I mentioned this earlier, giant candy decor. Now, again, role players love this. It's just decorative, though. It's just always something to put outside or maybe even your base and whatnot. But anyway, this sold in the Christmas Rush stores of 2018 and 2019, and then it was never brought back. Now, this got real cheap at one point. This was selling for barely $1 because people just did not care for it, and they knew it was always going to come back. But then it didn't. And, well, what you see now is it sells for over $8, and, just this past Christmas, sold for a very nice price. For you see, with every Christmas where it's not brought back, it keeps rising and rising and rising and rising. So, just this past Christmas, this reached up to about $20 at one point. So now that you see that, do you reckon we might see something like that potentially happening with the likes of our Sky Lanterns? I don't know. Now, that's not exactly decorative. Well, technically speaking, you could just put it in your base. And if you can remember, you can hide an item on it. So you can, make the sky all look nice and pretty and whatnot, but is that the same as giant candy decor? I can't really sit here and answer that to you, but and you are aware. And with the likes of Easter coming up, last year we didn't have the likes of the nest hat and the bunny hat, did we? So that's another thing we've got to keep an eye out for potential discontinued items. Because I honestly don't think, especially with now that we got the Chinese New Year spear, and the expectation of we might potentially have a special weapon skin being produced for every single Lunar New Year now, aka with this year having the Dragon Launcher, maybe the Sky Lantern just simply doesn't have a spot anymore. Maybe it's never ever going to get brought back. So, now you know, and we'll see what happens. So yeah, that was this week. So, like I said, you shouldn't be surprised if we see some Valentine skins being inserted into this, maybe at some point over the weekend. Maybe it does appear Monday. Maybe the Valentine skins persist and, remain in the next Rust off for next week. Who knows? but just be kind of aware they are still expected to appear, but they're not going to. It's not expected that we're going to have a Valentine's rush store for next week because that happens after Valentine's. Bit awkward. All right, anyway, so with that, we've discussed all of the skins, and I will sit here and say, keep an eye on the workshop. So let's just remove this, and let's go over to here. Okay, so I made a little bit of a mistake there, but yeah, keep an eye on the workshop. You will want to be aware of all the newest submissions because we're going back to normal skins now. For the past 2 weeks, it's just been Lunar New Year and dragons and whatnot, and Valentine's this past week with all of the pink. So who knows what we might see, but continuations and whatnot, you probably do want to be aware of that, so keep an eye out, and yeah, just keep in checking and whatnot. Right, so with that, thank you very much for watching me. I greatly appreciate it. I hope you all enjoyed yourself. Best of luck to all of your investments, and keep an eye in regards to this. I will have a video put out talking about this, and well, if you manage to buy one, this might get pretty pricey, but don't expect it to be insanely pricey. It might maybe be about $10 or $20. We'll see. So I will have a video discussing that matter, and it should appear this Saturday. All good? Right, catch you later. See you, goodbye.